Tonight on Alaska's News Source, bringing awareness to a difficult topic. People gathered in Anchorage to walk in honor of suicide prevention. Plus, the Thunder Valley Speedway in Willow is partially torn down. We're hearing details on the property dispute. And rounds of low pressure in the Bering Sea bring high winds and rain to the Aleutians. And Alaskan animals have been out and about. We're checking out some fun video from our viewers.
You're watching Alaska's News Source.
For nearly 50 years, the Thunder Valley Speedway in Willow has delivered a summer full of dirt racing for local fans and drivers. Now, as Charlie Fellow reports, it has been partially demolished during a property dispute.
At mile 75.5 of the park's highway in Willow, signs point passersby to the Thunder Valley Speedway. However, it's unclear whether any racing will take place there again. The track, formerly known as Capitol Speedway, was owned and operated by the Wallace family since its founding in 1978, before they sold it in 2022 to Jason and Phil Hutchins. Nancy Wallace claims payments stopped coming in July. That led to the Wallaces saying that they're filing for foreclosure. Nancy says Jason brought a dozer in on Thursday.
He's told us different things that he's going to do. He did say to other drivers that he was going to mow the place down at the end of the season.
The season ended on August 31st. Just 4 days later, the Wallaces say grandstands were torn down, concrete barriers were damaged, and that's what they say they can see from the edge of their neighboring property.
We don't know what they've taken because we're not allowed on that property.
Jason Hutchins didn't immediately respond to Alaska's News Source's request for comment, but he did post a lengthy statement to his Facebook on Friday. He claims the property hasn't been foreclosed on and accuses the Wallaces of doing things like sabotaging the operations and locking him out of the company's Facebook. However, the Wallaces say they hope to reclaim the property in a foreclosure auction in October and believe they can get the track back into racing shape by next season. Charlie Fellows, Alaska's News Source.
A trustee's notice of default and sale under deed of trust was filed with the state and dated August 1st of this year. And September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and today Justin Matson was at the Out of the Darkness walk and shares the stories of people there.
The white beads. If you have the loss of a child, please raise your beads.
Before the walk started, members of the community raised their beads. Each color comes with its own story.
I am a suicide survivor, so I wear the green bead, which stands for a personal struggle. I'm also a part of the member of the LGBTQ community, and I have lost friends and family to suicide.
Having friends that have made suicide attempts and having to call crisis hotlines on their behalf has been a really interesting position to be in, and feeling like you're at that final hour, final minute, wishing you could have done something different, or not knowing someone is struggling until it may be too late.
The walk is one of the biggest fundraisers for the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. For them, it's all about getting people to the resources they need.
It is a public health issue in Alaska, but we do believe it's preventable, and being able to talk about it and be able to, let people know there are resources there and people to help, and that mental health truly is an important part, and everybody has somebody they know or a connection that could use mental health support.
But most importantly, they want you to know you aren't alone in your struggles.
I want people to know that there's always somebody in your life that will miss you. If you're struggling, please reach out. There's always someone who's willing to talk to you.
If you or someone you know is struggling, you can call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline by dialing 988 any time of the day. Justin Matson, Alaska's News Source.
And head on over to our website for the latest details in this week's news. You can read the latest developments in Winona Fletcher's resentencing. She's the youngest female in Alaska history convicted of murder. And we have a story about a village police officer accused of months of abuse, death threats, and intimidation. And let's check in with Bailey Braun at the Weather Center. What can we expect moving forward?
Yeah, thank you, Michaela. You know, it's been really cloudy lately. It's been raining quite a bit, especially this last week that we had. But I'm really glad that the rain kind of stopped and dried out a little bit earlier for the Walk for Suicide Prevention Awareness. But right now you can see super cloudy. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and you can really tell by those low-lying clouds that are kind of blanketed over the mountain. But this is my favorite kind of weather, and we're getting into the fall season with cooler temperatures. So our high is going to be near 60, still within the 50s, and our low, of course, is near 50 degrees. So it's getting much cooler out there. And with our out-the-door forecast and our photo from Bain Salmon over in Alyeska, you can see just super cloudy skies are forecasted for the rest of this weekend. Those cloudy skies and those cooler temperatures are definitely on the way, and you can tell it's really felt like that, especially the last couple of weeks. But more showers are expected and on the way, both to wrap up this weekend, but also just for this coming work week that is ahead. So with our skycast, we've got those overlying clouds. You see that's all blanketed, just super cloudy skies, and some scattered showers rolling in overnight, and especially for tomorrow morning. Those clouds just kind of sticking around for Sunday with our high again near 60, which is what we saw today. So we're going to have kind of repeat situations coming in the next couple of days with those temperatures. Highs near 60, lows near 50, but cloudy skies through most of Alaska, especially for the western side of Alaska and the Aleutians with all the storms that are starting to roll in. So Michaela, with that, of course, we have our Brain and Brawn fun fact. And my fun fact is, since we are getting closer to fall approaching, my fun fact is that there is a difference between a solstice and an equinox. And the solstice is more of a change of the length for day and night hours. But an equinox is more so the result of, equal day and night change for seasonal conditions, basically.
That is really interesting to know, especially this time of the year.
I know, right?
Thank you, Bailey. Tomorrow is September 7th, 907 Day, and Alaska residents can get into 4 museums for free. Here's video of one of the places you can go. GCI partnered with the Anchorage Museum, the Alaska Sea Life Center. This is the video. That's in Seward, UA Museum of the North in Fairbanks, and the Museum of the Aleutians in Unalaska. So you can get in for free Sunday. When we come back, honoring a little boy 20 years later. As we gear up for tomorrow's trick-or-treat in the heat, we learn the story behind the tradition.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
20 years ago, a little boy's battle with leukemia sparked a Halloween tradition that's still bringing joy to families to this day. In case you missed it, Ariane Aramburo tells us about Trick-or-Treat in the Heat, which started because of a brave little boy named Ian Robbins.
Do you know what a velociraptor is?
In 2005, Ian Robbins was just 5 years old fighting leukemia.
Stop!
At the time, doctors told his parents they weren't sure how much more time he had left.
Like most kids, he loved Halloween, so I figured maybe we can just, since we may not be able to get him to Halloween, maybe we can bring Halloween to him on a small scale.
What started as a few houses turned into more than his parents expected, and Trick-or-Treat in the Heat was born.
There you go, baby. It was such an enormous event. About 100 children showed up, and it was an amazing time, an amazing memory. And Ian took it in stride.
Happy Halloween.
The event not only created a core memory for their son, it also shined a spotlight on how much their community cared.
A lot of people have way more Halloween decorations in their garage than Christmas and will buy a ton of candy in September to do this.
Ian lost his fight with leukemia on October 18th, 2005. Today, he would have been 25 years old.
25? No idea. But here we are.
A reminder of both the little boy she lost and the legacy he left behind.
Every year, there's not a sign, there's not anything. Kids will come up and you can see the parents kind of explaining, and they'll look and they'll leave a piece of candy in his bucket.
And it's the good stuff, too.
Oh, I like that kind of candy with the wrapper.
Ariane Aramburo, Alaska's news source.
The 20th annual event is tomorrow evening in neighborhoods in Anchorage, Eagle River, and Wasilla. Wristbands must be purchased for children.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.